You're watching the Coaches Roundtable on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Welcome to Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi, and welcome our guests, Butler High School grad and University of Pittsburgh starting offensive guard, Jake Cradle. Jake, is it just me, but how fast have 4 years gone by? So your fourth year at Pitt, your 3 year as a starter. How fast has it gone by?
It's been amazing. It's been super fast. You know, I still remember when I was a freshman coming in, just looking up to all the older guys, and now I'm the older guy. Everyone's looking up to me, and it's like, I never thought I'd see the day where I'm a 4 year guy coming, I'll be graduating in the fall, so it's been pretty awesome.
You are the veteran on the offensive line, and if I understand correctly, with COVID, you still have 2 more years to play at Pitt, so you could practically get your master's and maybe work on a doctorate while you're there.
Yes, sir. I got this year and then 2 more after that, so my goal is to graduate in the fall and then spring come around, start my master's, and hopefully finish that by next fall, and then if I'm there for my 6th year, start something else. So,
what are you getting your degree in?
Finance right now, and a minor in economics and administration justice.
So maybe on to the Cat School of Business after this.
Yes, sir. That's the goal.
One of the best in the country. Jake, let me ask you, how last year, how did you cope? I know it was not only you, but athletes. I had Phil Jerkovic on asking about playing before empty seats in the stadium. How did you guys handle that?
You know, it was a little different not having the fans there and people cheering you on, but honestly, it's like any other game. You kind of block everything out. When you're playing, it's just you're going out there and you're just focused on your job and making the play, opening up holes for running back, protecting the quarterback. So, like, it really wasn't too different. It was just the protocols were different. They're getting tested 3 times a week, worrying if you're going to test positive, if your roommate's going to test positive. I had a couple incidents where my roommate tested positive and I was out for 2 weeks, you know. So that was kind of like, mentally it's a little exhausting, worrying about like what you're going to do and how you're going to handle it. But it was definitely a different year, but it was a fun year, you know, getting after it.
You guys are 6-5, and just recently Coach Narduzzi said you passed up the bowl game because the team was just mentally exhausted.
Yeah, everyone was exhausted. Everyone wanted to go home and spend Christmas and New Year's with their families, so he gave us the option, and the team took a vote, and it ended up like everyone just wanted to go home and was just kind of over the whole COVID protocols and just wanted to be with their family.
What was the biggest adjustment for you going from Butler to Pitt? You look like you gained about 30 or 40 pounds since you played at Butler. What was the transition like for you?
The transition was learning football, honestly. Like, I thought I knew a lot about football, but like college is a whole different level. You got to learn schemes, techniques, defenses, coverages. As a lineman, you know, how the safeties rotate and all that stuff. And in high school, I didn't get taught that. So, you know, it was just going there was like a big learning curve, but I was able to, I early enrolled, so I was able to pick that up with that early 6 months that I got there before my class. So that was kind of huge. So I would just say like learning the playbook and learning different schemes and stuff. That was the biggest adjustment.
Well, I know you're not going to disagree with me. Offensive linemen are the smartest guys on a team. So much you have to learn with so many different defenses that they throw at you in different schemes. And then, of course, your offensive coordinator can make things very, very complicated.
Yeah, that's very true. We got to know what the running back's doing. The quarterback is how many steps he's taking back, where the running back's aiming point is, who the running back's reading, so how we got to block and stuff. And then obviously defenses throw different looks at us every once in a while. They'll throw a 3 down, a 4 down, or a 5 down if we're in the red zone. So just depending on what kind of defense it is, we have to be ready to block anything.
Jake, you know, we were talking before. We're always interested in the guys from Western Pennsylvania. We could put together a pretty good Division I offensive line with yourself, Josh Lugg from North Allegheny, Andrew Kristofic from Pine Ridge, and Michael Carmody from Mars, all at Notre Dame, and the Codi from Pine Ridge, who's at Indiana. We got a pretty good offensive line there. Do you stay in contact with these guys? Do you talk to any of them?
I haven't really been in contact with too many of them, but I've seen, their posts on social media and stuff and kind of followed their careers and where they've been. But I haven't really got to talk to many of them, but I hope to, connect with them here in the future.
Well, let's talk about Pitt football this year. ACC media came out, and the Panthers are ranked 4th in the Coastal Division, picked to go something like 7-5. It's really loaded with North Carolina, Miami, and Virginia Tech. Your thoughts on that?
Every year they kind of pick us low, and we kind of beat the prediction, I say. But I feel like this year, we have a team that very experienced. Our whole offensive line's back, minus Jimmy Morrissey, center. We have Owen Drexel, a 5th-year guy that's really been the backup the past 4 years. And our wide receivers are all back. Our quarterback, our 5th-year quarterback, Kenny Pickett's back. We just have to put it all together and hopefully just, put a good year together. And that's my goal, is just hopefully be in Charlotte in December.
Well, you mentioned Kenny Pickett. How big of a psychological boost was that when you and the rest of your teammates heard he was coming back for another year?
Well, it was huge. He's a leader of our team. He's been the leader of the last year, this year, and he's been the starter of the past 4 years. So it's been good to have him back and have his experience and have his just ability to play out there on Saturdays.
Well, as an offensive lineman and having played there and coached there, I know we want to run the ball. So last year you guys struggled, 13th in the ACC, 111th in the nation. What did you do in spring? What did you work on that gives you confidence that you'll get the running game back the way it always was at Pitt?
Yeah, definitely. That's been a big question mark. And we kind of focused on our schemes and how to, block it better and kind of being on the same page. Last year we weren't on the same page all the time, and it just comes down to one missed block. We had 5 out of the 6 guys would have it blocked, but the one guy would miss a block, and that's what it is. So this year we worked on schemes and just blocking it right and communication up front.
Well, you open up with Massachusetts on September the 4th, and the next week at Tennessee, and then in the end of October, back-to-back home games with Clemson and Miami. So that will be huge. I know you don't want to look ahead, but fans look at those games. Those will be great games in October.
Yes, sir. We're all excited for Clemson. They got us last year, and Miami did as well. So it's good to have them back at home and in Heinz Field. So we're definitely excited for those 2 opportunities.
Is there any particular defensive front that gives you more trouble than another, or what type of defensive player you can make that you've played against in your 3 years as a starter that's given you the most trouble, most difficult to block?
I'd say the most difficult to block was Miami's, one of their D tackles. He was really, really good, really fast and explosive with the ball, and that's why this year I'm looking forward to matching up against him again this year. So,
Jake, let me ask you, everything has changed, names, image, and likeness. I just saw that the University of Alabama quarterback Bryce Young, who hasn't even started the game, he's ready to sign a 7-figure deal before the season starts. North Carolina's quarterback Sam Howell and DJ from Clemson, they're signing contracts with Bojangles. How's this changed for you? What opportunities do you see? How's this changed the whole ball game for the college athletes?
It's crazy. It's going to definitely affect recruiting here in the future. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot harder on schools that might not have a big, market in their city and stuff. So, but it's going to be huge in recruiting, I think, getting kids to certain schools. But for us, like our quarterback Kenny Pickett, he got us a deal at the Oaklander Hotel, which is like a nice it's a nice hotel with a restaurant in it, and he got us a deal for like every week of the season we get to go there and eat with him, and it's on him. So it's kind of one of the benefits that came out for us linemen. But for us offensive linemen, I feel like we don't really have many deals coming just because we're not like the big names and stuff like the quarterbacks. But I'm hoping to get maybe some like Chipotle or some like little fast food restaurant, be a little nice to get.
Hey, smart guy, Kenny Pickett, to include the offensive lineman. You guys are going to block extra for him. So with all these changes now, the way it is, like when I called you, you don't have to go through E.J. Borghetti to do interviews now. That's all changed. Before you had to go through E.J. and get approval and a head coach. Now they can't restrict you guys.
Right, and that's a huge thing. It's like it's kind of all on us now. We got to pick who we want to deal with and who we want to like talk to. So, but I feel like we're all pretty smart athletes and know who to talk to and who to do interviews with. So,
well, I'm one of the guys. I'm in favor of you guys getting these opportunities. I hear people say, "Oh, young people can't handle money." Older people, some of them can't handle money. It's a great opportunity for. I'm going to ask you one more thing before we go. What's up with Kenny Pickett running from after it plays over to the sideline to Coach Whipple, getting a play and back into the huddle? It drives me crazy. What's up about that?
That's the way our offense runs. We don't do any like hand signals. We do a couple hand signals from Coach Whip to Kenny, but like when we're going, he just likes to go fast. So he likes to, once Kenny hands it off or throws it, he wants Kenny right to the sideline, get the call, come in and signal to us and get going. It's his way of coaching and his way of doing it, but it works for the most part. So it's been fun.
Hey, Jay, great for you to come up here, practice in the morning, and travel up here in the afternoon to be our guest. Wish you the best of luck this year at Pitt and a great season.
Thanks, Ed. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome. Hell to Pitt. I'll be right back with Ellen George.
High school sports, community events, all of your favorite local shows are calling the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel their home. Find out everything your neighborhood has to offer on Channel 100 or on YouTube. Spirit, town pride, local communities. This is the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
I'm back, joined to my right by the Swami George Abraham, to my left by the Tiger Albert Campman. Guys, it's always great for us to have local kids on. Jake Cradle going to his 4th year at Pitt, 3-year starter at offensive guard. Now, we were talking about we could have an offensive line Division I from this area with him, Michael Carmody of Mars at Notre Dame, Andrew Christophic of Pine Richland at Notre Dame, Michael Codi from Pine Richland at Indiana, and Joshua Lugg at North Allegheny at Notre Dame. You got a pretty good offensive line there that averages about 6'4", 305 pounds.
What I like, they're offensive linemen. And we, as hosts of a great sports show, know the value of offensive linemen. See, yeah, everybody talks about quarterbacks and everybody we know who
we know
who does the job.
From.
That's why the Steelers right now are not picked a lot. They're worrying about their offensive line. You know, you just mentioned 5 great ones that came out of this area, and you go Division I, you know you're a really good player.
And there's so many.
Watch Indiana, by the way.
Yeah, I think they were pretty good last year, right?
They're loaded.
Quarterback's back again, yeah.
He's on the O'Brien list.
I'm excited about it. Let's go to Spotlight. Lernerville Speedway, how sweet it is. Brad Sweet picked up a $25,000 check for winning the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup World of Outlaw Sprint feature. A week before, that guy picked up a check for $30,000.
That's awesome.
This is not peanuts when you race out there. That's why Lernerville is known all over the country.
They come in there from all over. People would be shocked if they saw the license plates in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. It's not a local deal at all.
You're just not at the last second. Well, let's go to Lernerville tonight. Forget about it.
No, they get a huge crowd.
Seneca Valley grad and former Pitt volleyball star Angela Seaman has been named the Pine Richland girls head volleyball coach. Butler sophomore wrestler Anna Malovich, that's right, Anna is her name, placed 5th at 106 pounds at the Junior Nationals Wrestling Tournament in Fargo, North Dakota. Butler softball catcher McKenna Negley committed to Glenville State College, and Will Bednar signs with the San Francisco Giants for $3.65 million. He doesn't have to have David to take him out for lunch anymore.
No.
I saw those guys out at San Fran together. It was really a good-looking scene. There was somebody there with the boys, and one of them was either a girlfriend or whatever. But it just said, man, because they had a picture on Twitter of them as little boys in their Little League uniform.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Really
man,
nice.
Oh, man. Hey, Major League Ball, 2 in the same family, well done.
Amazing. Great story.
Yeah.
Let's go to our stories of the week. Major League Baseball, the Pirates trade second baseman Adam Frazier to San Diego for 3 prospects to Cupita Marcano, 21-year-old infielder, hit 182 in 25 games with the Padres.
What was that I did here?
Would you want his name again?
No, average.
182
okay.
in 25 games with the Padres.
Okay.
And 22-year-old Jake Sawinski, 15 home runs, 37 RBIs, 269 for Double-A San Antonio. And 21-year-old Michelle Miliano, single-A, 2-2 record, 3.65 ERA, and then they made a deal with the Yankees. They sent Clay Holmes there for 2 minor league outfielders, Ho-Yun Park and Diego Castillo. So loading up, if 2 of these guys make it to the bigs and become starters, it'd be great.
Yeah, that's a steal if you get 2 of them to make it, but it's hard to predict for me.
It is.
You know, for me,
they're young. They're 20, 21-year-old guys. You don't know.
That's their job. Their job was to watch them for months and months and months, see how they've improved, see how they got better, and they're shooting everything. They did it once before, even though they didn't get credit. The group didn't get credit for it. Those 3 years, 2015, that area. Now they're trying 2023, 24, and 25. We'll see if it works out.
See, I like a mix. You get one or two minor league guys. Then I like maybe a 24, 25-year-old guy who's been in the majors for 2-3 years, had some success.
That's the best.
I like to mix it up.
That's the best, Eddie. If you can
That's
pull
why
that
they're
off,
grabbing the center field. They're going to build around the center field.
that's what they're trying to.
Center
Reynolds.
fielder.
Yeah.
And they got 3 infielders in
And Hayes.
still.
And Hayes.
And
Yeah.
Frazier becomes the first player and only the third in Major League history since Willie McGee, St. Louis to Oakland, to be traded midseason while leading the majors in hits. The others, one of your favorites, Red Shane-Dinks, who was traded from the Giants to the Braves in '57. How'd that turn out? They won the World Series.
Yeah, if you would have said last year at this time, we traded Frazier for 3 good prospects, you'd been celebrating. But this year, he's put a year together that he's never done in his life. And you know, so we're going to find out. So it was bad timing, good timing, whatever you want to talk about it. All I know is he's not a Pittsburgh Pirate anymore. That's all I know.
All I
glad
know
he
is
went
he's on base every time I flip the
this
TV
year he has
or radio on,
Yeah.
and I've been like, Jesus,
Hitting
God.
.327.
But
This year he has been.
Al's right. That's not his baseball card.
Not at all.
No.
He's a 270 hitter. That's what he is.
270 career,
with no
he's ever-
power. But
I
I'm
mean,
saying so.
Oakley-
But I love him as a utility
Yeah.
guy. You understand? He's
I've
always
always
been a
liked him.
great utility
Yeah,
player.
I've always liked
He's
him.
never been the guy to play every day. This year he's proved me wrong. He really has.
And now the Pirates 38-61. They're swept in Arizona 31-70. Take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. Go figure.
It's baseball.
But what I liked what happened, the 2 signings they made over the weekend, they got Bubba Chandler, the 3rd-round pick, the pitcher shortstop, the Clemson quarterback recruit, big kid, 6'3", 200 pounds. They signed him for $3 million. His slot was $870,000. Shows he's got some smarts about him.
And they wanted him to play baseball.
They want to play baseball.
He would have gone to Clemson if they'd offered $800,000. So
Absolutely.
you got to give the Pirates credit for that.
I do. I give him credit. And they got Penn State wide receiver recruit, a 4-star recruit, outfielder Lonnie White Jr. They got him for $1.5 million. So you get 2 players. Here's what I like about these guys. They're multiple sport, multi-talented
that.
athletes. I like that.
Well, they took the Louisville catcher for that reason. I mean, people were saying he was one of the top 5. They took Davis saying if we can get him, he'll say he'll take less money.
Right.
So we can give all that money now to the next 3 players.
these other
It was good.
kids.
It was a good plan.
Right.
It was a good plan.
And goodbye, Cleveland Indians in 2022. Hello, Cleveland Guardians. I don't necessarily understand the Guardians. I'm going to stick with my selection. I thought Rockers was better. I'm not sure I understand it, but the historical perspective is for Guardians.
There's an east and west bridge that they are there to look over the people going over the bridge. That's the genesis of the name.
The Guardian.
Yeah.
What the Guardian is? What type
Guarding
of
the
figure?
bridge. I don't know. It's kind of like a something that looks over the traffic on
Okay,
the. There's
but
one on each side of the bridge.
He can't be an Indian or
No,
anything.
no,
Okay,
no.
All right,
no,
that's
no
what I
more
wanted to
Indian.
know.
No,
That's
no.
Pocahontas.
That's Sacagawea.
Yes.
Hey, National Hockey League depends. Left wing Brandon Turbo Tanev, 29, selected by Seattle Kraken. Last week I said Kraken. I didn't know how it was pronounced, and I thought it was a fish. What is a kraken? It's a fabulous Scandinavian sea monster. So now we know.
I had that talk with somebody this week. I said, "What's a kraken?" They said, "You don't know Greek mythology?" I said, "No, I really don't."
Oh yeah, great. That's one of your forts. I missed his fort.
Well, I'd have
He's
thought you
Greek
knew
mythology.
that. Yeah, I'd have thought you knew that.
I said, "Greek mythology."
Really? You know what, though? I'll
yeah.
be on. This happened because I thought originally, because I saw a guy fussing over their sweater, nice colors, whatever. I thought originally I heard Kraken, but then I heard all these people
I thought I heard-
saying-
that's why I said Kraken.
Because there's a young girl that hosts on The Fan over the weekend, and she called it Kraken. I thought she was wrong. It doesn't appear so.
I thought it was Kraken. Then I said. Then I heard them talking about. I said, I better check in this. I thought it was a fish. I was close.
Yeah.
It's
It's a sea monster. That's what it is. Yes.
Well, I had a little
Turns
more,
people
I
to
had a little
stone.
more instruction in Greek mythology.
Yeah, than me for sure.
Sea monster.
The Pens free up cap space. Gone McCann, gone now Tanev, but replacing him may not be so easy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, they had their draft. They took 18-year-old Tristan Brose, ranked number 28 by National Hockey League Central Scouting. Their other 5 picks range in age from 17 to 19. So you're looking 3-4 years at least down the road before they can help.
We talk
Yeah.
about this, Al and I. We trade kids for 30 years. What's our weak spot? Both of us will tell you. I cannot look at an 18-year-old and tell you what he'll be at 21, and that's how their job depends on it.
No, you just
I can't.
That is difficult.
You just,
it really is
I
just
difficult.
don't know.
It's really difficult. How do you know how big he's going to be? How do you know how fast he's going to be? You know, they try to predict that.
The Pirates in the 50s had one of the biggest bonus babies in the history of baseball at that time. He went on in the minors. In one game, he struck out, 25 or 20, blew his arm out, never pitched
all it
in the
takes,
major.
right? Blow it on. That's right.
I mean, that's what happened.
Yes.
He was destined for stardom.
Well, today you'd have Tommy John though and have a chance.
He'd have a
Back then
chance
you were
today.
gone.
Now the Kraken pass on Montreal goalie Casey Price, 34 years old. The price was too high, $10.5 million on his
Good decision.
salary schedule.
You have to do that.
So they select from Toronto the Kraken, Jared McCann, who was traded by the Pens to the Maple Leafs last week. You figure all this out.
Oh, yeah.
How they bounce around. Why did Toronto take
Well,
him and not
they
protect him?
seem to have a plan.
Everything's based around money.
Yeah, and look how good Vegas got quickly too. I think that was the thought. Maybe this team not getting quite as good so fast. Some of
They
the
won't.
established teams were
Right.
upset.
In the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks beat Phoenix in 6 games, winning 4 straight to their first title since 1971. Giannis, 50 points in Game 6 and a 105-98 win. He averaged 35 points in the 6 games. Giannis, 26. How about this? When he was a rookie, he averaged 6.8 points a game in a season where the Bucks went 15-67. Those nuns where I went to school at St. Michael's always said, patience is a virtue.
Well, with him, it's just somebody you got to root for. You know, he came in as 18, had no idea about the NBA. Was a skinny little kid, changed his body, and more importantly, now he changed his body to become one of the top 5 players, and he's still humble.
Is he now the face of the NBA?
I like the humble.
close.
Oh, he has to be right now, this minute.
But,
Yes.
hey,
Moved ahead of LeBron.
Hey, one thing about him too.
He's humble.
One of the reasons for the growth spurt was he didn't have any food from where he came.
Right. Think about how they're growing up like that. Yes.
It's great to see that
It
success.
is.
Not with him, Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Pat Connaughton all returning. Is this the start of maybe a new
No.
NBA dynasty?
Not a chance.
You guys don't see
No,
it?
the Nets. If the Nets is healthy, if the Nets are healthy next year, the Nets will win.
Hey, don't forget the St. Joe's guy's back. The kid that got hurt that was on their national championship team of Villanova, rather. Yeah, he's back. They missed
For
him.
the Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give them a shot next year. They'll be up there.
Oh yeah.
In the NFL, the Steelers going for free agents, something we have not seen the Steelers do for a long, long time. Last week was linebacker Melvin Ingram. This week, offensive tackle Chaz Green had 1 start last year with the Colts. Last month, it was guard Trey Turner. Mike Tomlin on the new revamped offensive line. You guys tell me what you think. He said, we don't have the bar set real high. We were last in the league rushing last year. We have nowhere to go but up. And then he said this. You tell me what he means. The offensive line is capable. Is that a good sign? Capable?
I think he's using the right word because we don't know, and I don't think he knows either. I know this, though, Eddie. We said on this show, they got rid of the 2 guys that were weak. Pouncey and DeCastro were done.
Yeah.
So you couldn't.
Injured.
So I don't mind.
You had to move ahead.
So I don't mind them doing that. That's what I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
They were
You don't
living
wait
on
too long. The
reputation.
mistake
No,
you make.
no.
Chuck Noll did that. As great as he
Yes.
was, he waited
Yes.
too long with guys.
Yes.
Should have gotten rid of them a year or 2
So I never
years
complain about it
before
because
they
I don't know
did.
how good or bad these guys will be, but I do know if they brought those 2
Well,
guys
how about
back.
his
Well,
line?
I trust. I could tell you this.
Hey.
Kevin Colbert would have kept him if he
Hey, he
thought they
gave him the
could
Ralph
play.
Kiner line.
Yeah.
We were last with you. We could be last with
That
us.
wasn't Rob. It was Branch Rickey.
Yeah, but
Yes.
think about it.
Kiner
Yeah,
wanted
he
to pay
wanted more money.
increase.
Absolutely.
Finished last without you. So here's a preliminary look at the offensive line. Chris Okorafor at left tackle, Kevin Dotson and Trey Turner at the guards, Chaz Green at right tackle, and right now there are 3 trying for center, but it looks like Tomlin's going to give the rookie Kendrick Green the first shot at starting at center. That's your offensive line.
And one thing you know about it, except for the great John Hannas of the world, a lot of NFL linemen are 5th, 6th free agents.
Oh, many.
You understand?
Many.
That position's been filled by those kind of players all the time. So they might be very good, or they might be lousy. I don't know, but I do know that is the trend. You know, very seldom. Like Indianapolis is made out of first rounders. They drafted the kid from Notre Dame. They draft,
The other guard, they're good.
Yeah, but most times it's free agents.
And New England seldom, if ever.
Oh no, they would go. They get
get
6 rounders.
a guy
yeah.
you never even heard of
Yes, no doubt.
from somewhere.
So you got to coach them up.
Now the big
There you
question, what will help Zach Banner, can he recover in time from this ACL? When you're a big guy, 320 pounds?
Yes.
To me, it seems like
A lot
it
of
takes
pounding on
longer
there.
Hey,
to
I'll tell you
recover.
what, though, I was just reading this morning. One of the Olympic gold medalists tore his Achilles 3 months ago. So it
Can be done.
can be done.
Today's medicine, right?
Today's medal.
Hey, looking for Aaron the Powder Rodgers. He's working on a new deal with Green Bay that will eliminate the franchise tag on him in 2022 or 23.
I'm glad you brought him up,
whatever.
Eddie, because I just talked about Giannis.
I call him the Powder.
Why I love him.
Yeah.
The most humble human being. And then we got him, who we're supposed to bow down to him. But
Yeah.
like fans are supposed to say, bow down to Rodgers. I don't want to hear it. I know he's a great player. I never say what. Is he thinking one iota about his teammates? Yeah. Is he think that thought went through his mind one time?
In Italian, they used to call him miserable. He seems like he'd be one of those
Everything's
guys
about
if
him.
he was in a restaurant. Excuse me, man.
Yeah,
You didn't put enough
Oh, no
butter
doubt.
on. You didn't
Yeah.
put enough
What do you
butter
mean?
on my toast. Or something.
There's no doubt
I'm
about
something
it.
always
complain
leery
about.
when someone doesn't speak to their family. I just think it's a bad
That adds more to it right there, George.
Hey, sad story. New York Jets quarterback coach Greg Knapp riding a bicycle in his hometown of Danville, California, struck from behind and he died as a result of injuries.
Local fans who follow us.
Yeah.
Please don't ride on the main road. George, Eddie, you
I'm
know
not sure.
how it
Yeah.
drives me nuts?
Yeah.
The day you just drive on that main road, and here's these cars. All it takes is one mistake.
One little weed
And
and,
you're
that's
done.
over. The NFL and non-vaccinated players, COVID, Delta variant, whatever outbreaks that could prevent a team from playing, that would be declared a forfeit with a loss of pay. The NFL players rep says that the players are being disrespected. Are they?
No way.
I mean, I just think, if you work somewhere, if you work at Armstrong and they tell you this is the way you do it,
Thanks,
this
George.
is the way you do it.
Thanks, Pete.
And one more thing, though.
We have to do everything that Carmen tells us.
Absolutely. Let me add one more thing, though. A friend of mine yesterday got a call. His daughter has been vaccinated with both doses, and she has the COVID.
Oh, you can still get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would tell you that. But from what doctors say,
Yeah.
you don't get the severity.
You
of it.
don't get the
that's the
severity of
key.
it.
I know
Right.
you can get it.
Yeah.
Right.
But instead of dying, you're in bed for 2 days and get better.
I got
Hey guys, that college football, that tremor earthquake
Oh.
noise you hear is the shifting landscape that
Wow,
we've
we
been
called it.
talking about for 2 years. Oklahoma and Texas are moving to the SEC. The Big 12 replacements, right now, it would be BYU and Boise State as their best two. If, and this will happen, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, the Pac-12 has been looking to expand. Look for them to go after these two teams to add to their conference. And then West Virginia, South Carolina, I would think the ACC will say, you want to come here? The new ACC commissioner already said about Notre Dame, they are committed to the ACC. They're not going anywhere else. Sorry, Big Ten. When they make a commitment, it will be to the ACC.
Two thoughts. Number one, I think Notre Dame's screwing that up. They should be in the Big Ten. I have no idea why they won't do it. It must be money. I don't know what the reason. The Big Ten has a lot of money, though. But the other one, that Big 12's gone. We predicted they're out. That's down. They're all
who's
going.
itchy right now is West Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Where do they go?
they want to go to the ACC.
They're going to take
I
their...
heard Virginia Tech absolutely
Doesn't
doesn't
want 'em.
I
They
bet
blocked
you
them.
Pitt doesn't want them.
They blocked them, but you know what? They're going to
They're
look
going
at it.
someplace else.
They're going to say to
They're
those
going
schools,
someplace.
"Hey, look, West Virginia's here. The TV revenue, the rivalries."
That's what I heard about TCU. They said they got a lot of eyeballs.
And why does South Carolina stay in the SEC? They can't win there. They're better suited with rivalries. Oh, I understand that.
That's the answer.
Man's best friend. He got
Yes.
it.
Now, the names, imaging, and license. I want to finish up here. The ACC star quarterbacks, Sam Howell of North Carolina and Clemson's DJ Uiagalelei. I don't know if I said
That's
it
good.
right. They signed with Southern fast food, Bojangles. In the South, it's Jesus, football, and fast food.
And Bojangles.
They're going to make a lot of money. Alabama quarterback Bryce Young hasn't started the game. Close to $1 million
We knew it
before he
was coming.
throws a pass.
We knew that was coming, too.
And then the smaller schools are jumping into it. Players from the Citadel,
over.
College of Charleston, women's volleyball and softball, and the athletic directors are helping them. And here's the new thing coming as we wrap it up. trading cards. There are companies
Everything's
out there
coming.
going after these
Absolutely.
athletes.
Yes.
It's a whole new deal. Next week, we're going to do a little what Dabo said, and you guys can respond to what Dabo said about all the changes. That's it for us. We run out of time. We'll see you next week.